Alright guys, welcome back to a new one, and today we're going to be talking about what's coming out very soon, which is
Octopath
Traveler. He just always wants to talk about Switch games, okay. But anyway...
It is a Switch game.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the point.
Yeah. But anyway, so Octopath Traveler is coming out on July 13th, and we're pretty excited for it. It's kind of like the first, big game of the year that I'm really into, that jives with me. So, and it really seems like kind of a one of its kind of game. There's nothing really else like it right now. So, especially with like a big budget. So we're excited, and I think that it also is a chance for Square to come back and be like, we still care about our roots and all that stuff. So, grassroots, right, Harrison?
Oh yeah, from the beginning. Final Fantasy Day 1 pickup right here. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm super excited about it. I think that from what I've seen, it reminds me of like SNES games, but just looks like a whole lot better in like a different way. Like, they're doing it differently. I played the demo when it first came out, and the original first demo, and I don't know, I got really into it and I wanted to keep going, and I'm excited there's a new demo, but I'm like, it's so close to coming out that I just think I'm gonna wait, because I know that the game data transfers over, but it just seems like if I do 3 hours of it, I'm gonna be like, I just want to keep playing. And I know you can also like delete your account or something and you can keep going back and doing 3 hours of a different character if you want to, but like I just want to play the game at this point, and I can wait like another week or so, however long since this video.
I'm with you. Like, I'm gonna hold off on the demo and just start the game when it comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited for it as well, because it has kind of like this. It seems like it has all the uniqueness and the freshness of like an indie game, an indie RPG. But it also has the AAA budget. It has a big publishing house, Square, behind it. And it looks kind of like a revitalization of the 16-bit, SNES RPG era that I know you and I really kind of grew up on.
Indeed.
And you've dipped your toes into as well.
A tiny bit, but this is why I'm also excited, because I feel like I get to go back in time and play
do
the
it
game
for the first time.
Yeah, because I've been playing so many of the more recent JRPGs and things like that I'm excited for this, because it seems more like a classic already. And I don't know. And I know that they said like 50 to 60 hours to beat the game, but if you want to, it can be up to like a 100-hour game. Like,
that's really long.
Yeah, that's
like
really
usually
long.
A Square RPG is like 30 to 40 hours.
But I would think with 8 characters, there's going to be a good amount of story.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be a lot of replayability in terms of what scenarios you get. It actually reminds me a lot of Secret of Mana 2, the Secret of Mana sequel that we never got in the US, or Seiken Densetsu 3 in Japan. And it kind of had a similar setup where, like, I think there was a cast of 8 characters, and you could pick 3 on any given playthrough. And, like, you would pick your first character, your second character, your third character, and it would give you a different sort of scenario based on the characters you played, and you would get a little bit of the overall story with each playthrough. So it really encouraged repeat playing. But I think in this game, you can actually recruit all 8 characters in one playthrough and see most of the game. So I don't know if they're going to do something like that or not. But one of the most interesting things to me about it is like its visual style.
Yeah.
How it melds the 2D sprite character design with this sort of like almost isometric 3D sort of storybook.
And it looks so original. Like, it looks very it grabs the eye because it seems like it's like kind of this weird like double take thing you have to do with it, because it's like 3D 2D combo, because like even the ground texture is still trying to be that SNES kind of look.
Yeah.
But you have like these cool effects, I'd assume, and like I'm sure there'll be big story beats that'll be big spectacles and big boss battles and all that. And I'm kind of curious to hear what the story's all about.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, because like I know the demo I played, it kind of gave you 2 characters. Yeah. And they both had very like kind of microcosmic conflicts. Like one, I think, wanted to find her father's killer. The other, I can't remember. It was like traditional like knight shit. I don't remember what it was. But I guess every character's gonna start off with something a little bit small, and maybe it'll all kind of thread together. And probably you're gonna end up fighting a god or becoming gods, and whatever is JRPGs typically trend to, but.
Or it could all just be a dream.
It could all be a dream.
Yeah. And it goes into like a 3D modern JRPG. Like
they change the visual style.
That'll never happen. Yeah. But
fingers crossed.
But like you're right. I kind of hope they don't go in that direction. Dogs. Hey. Stop
it off.
Stop.
They're very excited too.
Yes, they're excited
about Octopath.
Do you want to go in the other room?
They love Octopath. They'll calm down.
Okay.
So,
all right. So, but what were we saying?
The story is kind of a question mark at this point.
Question mark. I feel like we don't even know what it is,
right?
And it could go in either direction. And I feel like Square, you guys got to bring it with a story. So
they usually do too. So.
Yeah, but like I feel like that. I've liked a lot of their stories, but like I feel like lately there's been some mixed feelings on their story presentation.
I feel
they got to bring it back.
Yeah, I definitely think that's something that's very important to the overall quality and reception of the game is the story, but
and the fans too. I think that Square fans want like a AAA, magnum opus in a sense.
That's kind of my point. It's like I don't think it needs to be this like. Deep dive into Nietzsche or like crazy religious overtones, or like I don't think it has to.
It doesn't seem like ambition. It seems like more like a Suikoden, like Warring Villages kind of.
I know. I really hope that's what it is.
Yeah. Versus a grand, epic like odyssey that are like
create some great characters, write those characters really well. And have a meaningful story around those characters. It doesn't have to the world doesn't have to hang in the balance to make a compelling story for an RPG.
I'm with you. They can do that still, but this time let's do it different, right? Yeah.
And hopefully that's sort of what they're going to explore.
I also liked in the demo that I played just how much voice acting there was and how well it was done, because that was kind of surprising, and also the fact from that first demo how much. They wanted you to take a survey after you played it, and like they kind of took what the fans said and tried to make changes, and I thought that was really cool because, they want to know what you think, and that way that you'll enjoy the game more. So I thought that was like a really cool way of like giving us a demo, then giving we give our feedback, and then they make changes where they can.
Square really has made an effort to reach out to their fans lately. This will get you shortly. But anyway, because like they asked for feedback on Final Fantasy 15, they asked for feedback on Octopath. They're constantly like polling their fans to see what they want, which is kind of refreshing because Square used to be a pretty, they just do what they want behind the scenes, which you could say might arguably be beneficial to a creator versus having to have this public PR campaign going alongside with the development.
Well, I think they're definitely in a position where it's like they've had some, I think, unexpected commercial, lackluster commercial success in some of their games that they thought would be blockbusters. And I think they're sort of in a position of, well, what do you guys want now? What kind of games do you want to play? What kind of RPGs do you want?
Yeah.
So it's affirming that they're receptive to that kind of feedback.
And they're looking beyond Kingdom Hearts 3 and 7 Remake and stuff like that. Because they want to see what's next. Xenogears Remake in the style of Octopath. You heard it here, 500th. So, yeah. So the gameplay, it looks more like of a classic, turn-based battle system, but it reminds me of 10 in the sense because they had you could take your time between selecting your commands, and you could see the order at the top or on the right in 10. But yeah, I think that the battle system is I still don't know what to make of it yet. I feel like what we see is early on, and I'm sure there's a lot of depth to it, but.
I actually would kind of be surprised.
JRPG battles?
I'd be surprised if there was a whole lot more depth to it. I think.
You would be?
Yeah, because I think that most JRPG battle systems, in that era at least, that they're harkening back to, didn't have very complicated battle systems. You had a magic component, an item component, maybe a summon or overdrive kind of thing.
After just playing 6 earlier this year, that's very true. And in some sense, there's a little depth to it with your leveling system.
Yeah.
And growing your espers.
And I was thinking of Persona a little bit, when I'm saying this, because they had a very classical kind of Persona 5 had a very like classical JRPG battle system. Like there were definitely some unique mechanics, but overall there weren't that many overcomplicated things. It was sort of a few core mechanics that really made a rich and varied battle system. And I could see that each character may have like a unique attribute or quality, sort of like 6 had. But I think it's going to be pretty, I don't know, straightforward. I think it's going to be accessible. I think they're going to try to make it as accessible as possible.
I thought the battle system was pretty cool from what I played of it, and I thought that because there was some depth to it that like I kind of had to figure out, but as I just kept playing, I was like, okay, you just become more familiar with it, and then I'm sure by the end you're gonna know all the weaknesses of enemies and things like that, and I'll just make it like it'll all click. But it was just like it was you're learning in the very beginning, and it was what I expected, but there were also like a couple twists in the battle system that I was like, okay, so I need to like limit break this guy to a degree.
Yeah, so they like the charge up thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just thought it was interesting because it was a little bit different than what I was expecting, but I liked it. So
yeah, I really liked it too.
Yeah. Well, Octopath coming soon, right?
July 13th.
Yeah, July 13th, and I think we'll have a review after we put our 60 hours into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So anyways, guys, thanks. Peace.